melee and then I get an extra chop. That kind of savagery is awesome. Hey everyone, it's Tiqqle, and in this video we're going to be talking about the Windfury animation in Shadowlands and compare it to what it used to be a long time ago in a galaxy, in Classic. We're going to go ahead and look at the difference there. And guys, one more thing, we are doing a giveaway every single day this week until the 30th, from the Friday to Thursday, of a copy of Shadowlands. We've already given away 4. We're going to be giving away another bunch by then, so definitely come by the stream during those times for a chance at your own Shadowlands. If you already have Shadowlands, we have some other stuff lined up, so that'll be there too. We're also doing the transmog competition, the first one in April. We're going to do another one in May with prizes for that too, so we'll see you there. So I'm on Shadowlands Alpha. I will show you what it looks like here. We'll compare it to the old one. We'll talk a little bit about it, and I think a few areas that Blizzard should really consider changing about it, because it is the quintessential part of an enhanced shaman. Now, I played Classic when it got re-released. I played a two-handed enhanced shaman. I played it with Windfury, and I will say it is very satisfying, and it does a significant amount of damage in Classic. The PvP style wasn't really the same as it is now. I mean, right now there's a lot. It's all ability based, and back then it was a lot about just the physical damage of your weapon hitting the target. But now that's a lot less important. So there are some things that have changed, and also calculations that have changed. Blizzard now does not really base the damage off of your weapons. It bases your damage off of your stats. So when you hit, it says melee, but it's not really the weapon. It's really your character hitting, if that makes sense. And we see that come through when you talk about Frost Death Knights and Frost Death Knights being able to use a two-hander or dual wield and do the same damage. That's because your stat template is same. Only thing that is really changing is that melee animation. And so because of that, it makes it a little hard for to think about what two-handed Windfury builds would look like in today's World of Warcraft. But to be honest, I think everyone would appreciate it nonetheless. It is the #1 thing that people are saying about enhanced shamans. For feedback, you can see it on the forums. If you go to the alpha feedback forums, it is very prevalent. And if you don't know, or maybe you're not quite familiar with the discussion about enhance and about Windfury, let me just show you a little bit. 2 things. Number 1, this is coming back in Shadowlands. I put it in my other videos. Check down in the description, having to do with Windfury weapon and the Windfury totem. These are core pieces of enhanced shaman in BFA. In Legion, these were kind of passives in terms of melee doing damage and proccing additional hits. Now they brought back this, which is actually a really good move. What is it? It's imbue your weapon with the element of wind. Each hit has a 26% chance to trigger 2 extra attacks, dealing additional damage. Okay? Now in Windfury Totem summons a Windfury Totem within 5 feet of the caster for 2 minutes. Party members within 12 yards have a 10% chance when they auto-attack to swing an extra time. Okay, so Windfury weapon buffs me up, gives me a potential 2 extra hits, and then I can also put down Windfury Totem, which gives my party members the chance to get 1 extra hit. So very cool, and this is something that was back in Classic, made you feel like a shaman. That's the swinging, and it was very important with the melee swings, right? So that's what it's about, and that's what we're talking about. Now, one of the big things for me, number 1, we don't have two-handed enhanced right now, but the big thing for me is the animation and how it feels, and how it contributes to your overall damage. So in Shadowlands, and similar to BFA, the way that it works is the following. You melee, and when you melee hit, you get a chance to proc this Windfury, like I just said. And this is what it looks like. And maybe this will help you understand once we look at the Classic version, but this is what it looks like now. I'm going to go ahead and hide the UI. You'll see me just kind of meleeing, doing some hits, no big deal. But then all of a sudden, oh, what's that wind circle around your feet? That's it. That's the Windfury procking. It's going to proc a decent amount, but these are just melees. And I'll try to just circle the character so you can kind of see from different... There it is. See, it's so subtle. You don't really sense that it's happening. So let me go ahead, let me pull up the UI, and you'll be able to see. Oh, that was a Windfury proc. You saw it right there. It came up in the damage log, right? So it's barely noticeable around the feet. And obviously, there's a ton of stuff going on. A lot of visual effects in this game. Now, like more than Classic, right? A lot of different things that could be happening. So I kind of understand maybe they think this would be too much, but that's it. And it is not really a big deal. Like if we look, we'll look again. Let's get 1 more proc going on. You'll see it around the front of the feet, right? The circle that'll appear. Wow, 25%. There it is, Windfury. That's it. That's it. And to me, that is not significant enough. Now, the damage itself, if we look, melee hits are hitting for about 120 crit, an extra 14 damage, a little bit different damage on mobs. So Windfury damage right now definitely feels like a passive. You can use some talents to buff it up, like Forceful Winds. If I go Forceful Winds, it will stack the increased damage of Windfury, but it procs pretty often. 25% is a lot. I mean, it's a lot. It's going to proc a lot. And once you use abilities like Storm Strike actually has an ability to proc Windfury on both weapons. I'll put down these totems for extra chance of Windfury, and you'll be able to see it. I just get melee hit one time, and I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Windfuries. I can get up to 8. We did 8 the other night during stream. 4 is normal if it happens, but you can do 8. 8 was really crazy to see, and it's actually an interesting build. Maybe we'll be using 2 Windfuries on your weapons. But anyway, we'll have a different video breaking that down. But that's what it means, and that's what it looks like. And to be honest, the look is not very impressive. To me, I think it's one of the core pieces of Enhanced Shaman, and you barely see it around the feet. It's a little unfortunate because let's talk about where we came from. Let's talk about Classic a little bit. Number one, of course, we don't have two-handed Enhance. We don't have two-handed Windfury, and it looks like Windfury is now, it's in the game. It's important from passive damage. It's gonna, even the totem's gonna proc for your teammates, right? But if we go back for a minute, I have some clips here from me playing Classic from a video, and you're gonna be able to see what it looks like and how it works. And one other thing to call out is when you're meleeing and you get a Windfury proc, like watch my guy. He attacks, right? You see him attack, and you're gonna see that. Oh, okay. I think it already has procced while we're talking. But I hit twice every time I melee, right? I hit with the main hand, offhand, right? That's just how I melee. So keep that in mind. So I'm just meleeing, and it's procking, and we're not really feeling it proc. So one thing is the feet animation. The other is that it only looks like I'm hitting once, but it's passively damaging for multiple times. I don't like that. I would rather it be, if I hit once, I should be able to see if I strike 2 more times, right? So if I melee once and then it procs, I should hit 2 more, right? Or something along those lines. See, you're not even sensing the Windfury happening. That's the problem that I have, and that's mostly about this video. I want to get feedback to Blizzard and put it down in the comments what you think. But number one, Windfury does not make it look like I'm actually getting any additional attacks. It's just passive, and that's kind of silly. Listen, I like it. I'm not complaining about the fact that it's more damage. I'm just saying animation, immersion, that's what I would like to see. Now, if we go back again, like I was just mentioning, back to Classic, what you'll see is it does do that. I'm going to back up a little bit. So you're going to see me melee. That's just a normal two-handed melee strike, right? I'm going to melee again. I'm going to melee one more time. Just see how it's just like a chop, right? And that's what we're seeing in Shadowlands, a chop. That's just a melee. But once you get that Windfury, watch what happens. Windfury procs. 3 hits, similar to what we're seeing now. I get a melee, I get 2 additional. But did you see what it first of all, the damage was a lot, but you see the whirlwind come up from my feet. I'm going to play it in slow motion here. But again, if we look at it again, the feeling of this proc is like, oh shit, you're actually swinging that extra time. So you're not just doing that default melee swing, and then you're seeing those additional numbers come up. You're seeing the chop, and then it's proccing additional hits, so you hit again. It's resetting the animation for your auto attacks. And that is really cool. That whole resetting of auto attacks is a very cool and exciting way, because that is something that's like an off global event almost. It's not just a melee, a melee, a melee. It's melee and then I get an extra chop. That kind of savagery is awesome. So let's just go through it. I'm going to go through it very slow. But again, you know, it feels really slow, and then you get a proc, and all of a sudden you just got the double punch in there. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm thinking two-handers, or 2 one-handers. Ready? So like, yep, it procced. And that's what it feels good. The other thing is, if we're going to go through it a little bit slower again, what you're going to be able to see is you're going to be able to see the fact that the wind that procs around my entire body. I know that I got a Windfury proc. It's sucking stuff up in a little twister inside myself, and then I have even a little leftover after effect there. That is an animation, and that is a part of the class that is super cool. And I hope that my plea to Blizzard is make Windfury animationally, if that's even a word, important to the class. If you do this, even if you don't bring back two-hander, if you do this, like, look at that it's just beautiful. You hit them 3 times in one swing because you hit an extra 2 times. That's what the tooltip says. So follow the tooltip, give us those 3 hits and bring it back. Look at that. Ready? 1, 2. Beautiful. The third one was like in there somewhere, but I like that. I like that kind of seizure effect. That's that savagery there. And you could probably even do it more awesome now in Shadowlands with the technology and everything now. But that's my plea, and that's the animation difference over time. I mean, this is 15 plus years ago, right? But I would really like Blizzard to go back to this, because it will make Windfury feel like it is important again, even if you don't tune the damage. If you don't even tune the damage and you make this change, people will love the class even more, and it will be much more exciting, because that was some of the excitement back in the day. At least when I was playing Classic, was like, when you got those procs, you got really excited, and you know you got the proc. In Shadowlands, you don't know you got the proc. You just never know. The thing around your feet is not enough. This whirlwind is also something. If you brought back that whirlwind and you brought back this auto attack, it would be a huge, I mean, of course, it doesn't mean that Shaman's any more viable or enhanced any more viable. Not necessarily, but it actually just no. It's just changing the animation, but I think it's something that needs to be addressed, and this is a time that it can be addressed, especially you're getting Windfury Totem and you're getting the Windfury Imbue back. And you can see even the Windfury Imbues, like Totem's here. Imbue is over there. Yep, it looks like Windshear does now, but that's about it. I just wanted to show that to you guys. I will also, you know, we've been doing a lot of different things in the streams, guys. We've been doing giveaways of Shadowlands. Make sure you are coming by the stream. We already have given away 4 Shadowlands copies. We have a bunch more to give. Every day we're giving out 1. We're going to have a transmog competition today, which probably won't make it for this video, but it'll be pretty good. So with that being said, guys, we'll see you on the stream. We'll see you in the next video. Have a good one. Take care.